Right. There we go. All right. Okay, so it should be up. And what we need to do here is we're actually going live today for Mark. And I need to do a couple of sound checks. So we're going to do a little bit of sound check on YouTube first, then we'll go to TikTok. So Jerry, can you hear me over on YouTube okay? All right, good. Anyone in the Zoom, can you type up and say hi to the world out there?
Hello.
And can we hear the Zoom folks?
Hello. Hello, hello. Here, check. William Charlie.
About 30 seconds worth of delay. You're welcome. Yes, you can hear the Zoom folks. Zoom good.
Yeah,
nice. All right. Go. All right. Now, what we're going to do is start TikTok, and this is where we could get a little sketchy. Here we go. TikTok is up.
Yes, sir.
Getting all my windows set up here. YouTube is good. Thank you very much. Now, how about TikTok? Can everyone hear me on TikTok? Can you hear me? Sorry, I don't use TikTok. No, it's fine, Jerry. You don't need to use it. No. I see a no. I see a thumbs up. Yes, but the volume is low. Okay. How about that? Is that better? Perfect here. All right, good. Thank you, Fascinate. Appreciate that. Now, if we could get the Zoom folks over here in our Zoom to speak up one more time for us, see if we can get them to show up on the TikToks.
William Charlie. Check. Hello, world.
World. Be a notch lower. Ooh, I'm hot now. Okay, how about that? Is that better?
Hello.
Did we hear the Zoom folks?
Not yet.
Love that keyboard. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry about that. I can't seem to get TikTok to, the filters in TikTok to work right to block all that out. So, yes, you can hear the Zoom folks and James?
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Okay, very good.
Oh, I can hear myself.
Well, that's all that matters. Okay, YouTube is good. TikTok is good. Let's rock and roll. All right, welcome aboard, everyone, to ADT's public broadcast of the futures market and training and education. Real quick, legal. None of us here at ADT are licensed financial, tax, or investment advisors, so everything we do here is for educational purposes only. Do not copy trade me. You are going to be on a pretty massive delay if you're on YouTube, about 20 to 30 seconds, and anywhere between 10 to 20 seconds on Tickety Talk. So if I do any example trades for you, it will be for educational purposes and not for you to copy trade. One case in point is I've got a single micro contract in MNQ that's been running now for, I don't know, when did I get into this thing? Just before noon. So been running for about 2 hours. And this one little contract right now is up $128.50. Yes, I sat through all of this mess. I'm training myself to let the runners run. And you have to accept some level of volatility in that run since this is my last contract. Now, I got in with 5 contracts down here at the bottom, had a mechanical error that added 5 more up here on the run. Now, thankfully, the momentum was still to the upside, so I was still good. But as it came up to the double top, I sold off my first 5, which is not what I wanted to do. So these are now gone. It moved my DCA position up here where the buy point was. And then as I got a little bit further on some of these pullbacks, I shed here, 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 and here. So that leaves me my 1 contract left because I started with 5 down here, added 5 here. So 5 plus 4, 9 contracts sold off. And yeah, I sat through this large pull as well, even through the color change, which has happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now 6 times to get to this this move that we're now experiencing on MNQ. On the 1 minute is what I'm watching. So as always, over here on TikTok, like, share, follow, please hit those hearts, tap that screen on TikTok, tap that screen, get those likes and shares going. Thumbs up, share the stream, all the good stuff. I'm going to actually do that myself since I'm talking to everybody about it. I'll do that right meow. T programs. Got all my quick buttons here. So, Drewski, you had a question that we were going to handle on the live. What was that again?
You had a list with the title EAM. There were your object tree.
Yep.
I think it's a watch list.
It is a watch list.
Just wondering how to get to that.
Absolutely. I'll show you how I do that. Get in here to the tickety talk real quick. TikTok, you don't stop what? All right, here we go. Bump some hearts. This thing shared out to the socials. And again, if anyone is sitting in the Zoom, if you're a TikToker, great. Please pop over to the social and just share it to your socials. That would be very helpful. However, if you are trading, manage your trade, stay in your trade, please. I'll bring this down here. Yes. Yes. All right, cool. And I apologize ahead of time for the clickety clacking and the mouse noises and all the good things. I'm still working on filters in OBS. I think I've got OBS kind of figured out, but TikTok, I'm trying to use a VB cable to move all of the audio data over to TikTok, and I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I'll get there. All right. Over on the TikToks, if you could please hashtag FYP, that always helps, and click those hearts. Thank you very much. All right. So, watch lists. Up here at the top right, Drewski, of your trading view. And I'll get the L2 and close this trade window out so you can see this. What I've done here is I've got a couple of different master categories, and then within those categories, I've broken them out into sections. So on my micros, these are my micro futures. I've got micro Bitcoin. I've got the dollar index, and then these 6J is actually an E-mini, but I do keep an eye on it because I've got the the dollar index right here. And then I've got the micro euro and the Aussie dollar. Then I've got energy, indices, and metals. Excuse me. So how did I do that? Well, the first thing you can do is come up here, click this, drill down, and then you want to create a new list. Okay. So once you create a new list, you can call it whatever you want. And then that creates a new list for you to add things to. Now I can come in here. Let's do some funds. 10-year. Actually, I'm going to go over to, don't know what that is. 10-year futures. Let's see, 10 years. You know what? I'm going to get the ticker from Webull. Futures. Interest rates. ZT. So ZT. Then we've got, I'll do T-bond, 5-year, 10-year, and Ultra 10. Okay, so ZT main. So over here, I'll come in and type in ZT. That's my 2-year T-note futures. Click on that. Now, if I wanted to, I could take this and add it right to my chart. T 2-year note. I want the big one here. Because you can choose your contract as well. I'm just going to go with the main, which will give me the actual contract that'll allow me to have the contract swaps. So all the contracts, as they move up or get rolled over, they'll roll over into this symbol. So this is my test watch list. Now, if I want to, I can create, what I need to do is then hit the star to save it to my favorites menu. And when I do that, now it shows up in my favorites menu. So with that, I now have T-notes, stocks, if I want to track stocks. I've got agriculture for hogs, pigs, and soybean futures. Then I've got my E-minis, where I have the dollar index and the E-mini version of all of the indices and metals and energy that I was watching in the micros. Here's my micro. And then I've got crypto. So that's how I create the watch lists. No, sir. But it is being recorded because of the YouTube. So you can go back and watch it on the YouTube when this is done. You bet. All right. You got it. So, whatever you have in your watch list in Webull, I like Webull because of the widgets. I really do like the widgets in Webull. Said it 1,000 times, but they are pretty cool. I'm not a fan of the trading mechanics for futures and practice trading in Webull, but the live side works fine. It's responsive. I haven't seen too many outages or anything like that. So, but I do trade in Tradeovate personally. I like the platform a lot better. I can link it to TradingView and trade through my demo or practice account. So I've got all the same exact mechanics that I do on the live side of things in the demo account. So when I'm actually doing my practice trading, I have exactly the same mechanics that I will need to use in my trades, live trades. Now, this is in my demo account right now. Get this all set back up again. Set it down, open my trade window, get my widgets back up. There we go. And now I'm good to go. So with my watch list and my widgets from Webull that I'm able to detach, which you can only do from the live side of Webull, you can't do it from the paper side. once you you detach them and you hit the sticky on top button right here, this little doohickey right there, it will now stay on top of the window that you have open. So if I close out of TradingView, you can see that the widgets are still hanging out there. So when I bring TradingView back, there they are. Now I can sit here and move around and I can click on my watch list. So if I want to go over here and watch gold, I can click on my L2 for gold and I pop over here to my TradingView watch list, click on that, and now I'm good to go. A couple of clicks and I'm ready to trade. The other thing I like to do to get myself set up for a trading day is I like to have Weevil open on a different screen, and I'll show you the multi-chart that I use for our Zoom meetings. And just for myself, I like to have the multi-chart up. At the very top, I've got ES, NQ in the middle, RTY on the right. In the middle left, I've got oil, then there's gold, and then YM, which is the Dow. In the bottom left, I've got natural gas, silver, and a currency, which you really can't see because there's a great big American Dream Trading logo right in front of it. But this is the euro. So I like to have this up on a different screen so that I can watch for momentum moves, see where things are at, if it's at a double bottom or a double top, you know, like this scenario right here. This is at what we would consider a consolidatory zone. So I'm watching this level very, very closely. And you can see just on the small chart here that we did get an initial reaction to the downside. We did get some rejection. Now, if I really want to come out here and check out oil, all I got to do is pop over to my trading view, go to micro oil, and I'm in the chart and I'm ready to go. Bang, bang, bang. So let's see. Good to see you there, James, over on Twitch. Thank you very much. I don't actually log into Twitch. I should do that more often. I have an account. Let's see here. Reading you. Never suggest any sort of security reasons, and I'm required to use their sites. Oh, all right. Interesting. Well, YouTube is much safer, I'm sure. All right, so any questions? What do you guys want to cover? What do you want to look at? Do we have all the charts on 2 minutes? I'm guessing that's 2 minutes to look at momentum move. Yes. So one of our Zoom members is asking, do I have my multi-chart on a 2 minute? Yes, I do. The only thing I have on my multi-chart as well is the EWO signal. Okay, that's it. I don't need the indicators on here. I'm looking for structural type scenarios, like for instance, double bottoms, double tops. Am I in consolidation? Am I moving around at all? What's my overall trend? I can see that just by looking at lows. Okay, the trend is up on the indices right now. Right? This is not terrible. It's not hard to see. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Right? The trend is down on natural gas. We're absolutely ranging on silver, and we're in consolidation or ranging on gold. Right? And then we've got a downtrend on the euro. So at a glance, I can see very quickly whether or not I want to jump into a particular trade or jump into a ticker to see if there's a trade entry that would interest me. So I also do the same thing over here on TradingView. When I'm in a trade, I'll have a multi-time frame up. I was in Q. I'll have the multi-time frame up, and the multi-time frame allows me to see at a 5 minute, 15, 1 hour, and 4 hour where I'm at with certain things. And I do sometimes have the indicators on here because of this multi-chart is only a 4 chart. So it's not as bad to have the indicators on there, and it allows me to see where the key levels are as well. Thank you, Liz, for the FYP. It allows me to see where the indicators are on multiple time frames and where any key levels might be hanging out for me to review. So on the 4 hour, I turn the indicators on and I can see that I've got a nice 4 hour push here. The last 12 hours have been very kind to us. And we've just now started a new 4 hour candle. If I want to get a bigger look at this on TradingView, Drewski, if you do multi-charts, hold down the Alt key and click on the chart that you want, and it will bring you up the larger view of the chart. Okay. Once you're done with that, Alt click and it'll bring you back to your multi-chart. So if you wanted to do some analysis, say you were looking at structure and you wanted to come over here and take a look at some things, you could Alt click on this. And if you have everything globally synced, when you snap a line here on the 4 hour, it'll show up on the lower time frame chart way over here if you're already in that chart. Now, I don't have everything globally synced, and that is this button. Just hit it. Dog. Get out of the way. It's this button right here. Okay. So that'll sync globally through multiple tabs your indicators or anything that you draw on the chart, any of that kind of stuff. I used to do it, but then I started doing charting on one screen, and it was showing up on my trading screen. I didn't really want it there. I just wanted to get a feel for what it was doing. So I turned all of my global stuff off.
I just got back, but how did you link? Like I have a 3 chart that I look at, and I change them each individually. I've tried to figure out how to sync it. I've even done the flag, and it doesn't work.
Well, once you sync, I think you have to log out. So it's only going to be the new. You can either sync in the layout or you can sync them globally. If you sync them globally, all new drawings will show up. Well, here, I'll just do it here. So I'll go up here. I know that this is going to be...
Not necessarily the drawings, but like if I'm on, I've got 3 charts set up on one page. On them, they're different time frames. So
same like, ticker?
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you do what then?
How do you keep them, like, if I want to change them to a different, all 3 to something else at one time, how do I link those 3 charts together? Is that possible?
Yes.
Or do I have to go in and change each chart?
No, that's sync, and you want that to sync in the layout. So your layout is the tab. Okay. Gotcha. So if I make say I draw a line, I pop a line here. See how it showed up in all of my other charts? I'll make the line bigger.
Yeah, that's not what I'm at. That's what I'm asking is like you have MNQ there. Now, change, if you go to your watch list and you click something else, do all 4 of those charts change together?
Yes. If I have them synced. So let me get rid of this line here because I don't want it. So in this one here, say I've got M2K, but I have all of mine synced because this is a multi-chart. I'm using it for multi-time frame analysis.
How did you get them to do that? I can't get mine to do
that. It's synced in layout. So if I turn this off, I should be able to get individuals. See here. Time frame. I turned it on once. I don't know how to turn it off. All right.
Yeah, mine only changes the one box that's highlighted.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, how do they do that? Do you want them all to be the same ticker?
Yes.
Attention. All right.
I'll mess with it more, and I'll Google it or YouTube it, and
I'll come up. I'll come up with something too. So let's see here, because I turned it on somehow. I don't know how I did that. I thought it was in sync, but apparently not.
Yeah, I thought that like if you have the flags matching, like at the top where the name is,
Mm-hmm.
I have them all the same color. But when I change, like that little right next to CME is a flag,
Mm-hmm.
right there, and I've got them all flagged together, but they don't change together.
I don't think that flag has much to do with the syncing ability of it. But
But that doesn't make sense.
No, we'll come up we'll come up with a solution. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. All right. So I've got everything synced. So if I make a change here, I can alt click here. I can do some drawing. I can do some charting, whatever. I can make notes, alt click away from it. And then when I come over to my MNQ chart here, if I have them synced globally, it'll show up. So just for show and tell, alt click, draw a line close to my price action so I can see it when I get to the other chart. Make it nice and big. Alt click again. Let's see, sync globally. So I have to do this again. I didn't have sync globally turned on. There we go. So now I've got them showing up on all my charts. And if I pop over here, there's my blue line. So when you sync globally, you are good to go. Now, this entire time while I've been doing this, I've had this trade running and I was up $128 or something like that. And I let it fall back down, but that's okay. This is just paper, just a show of an exercise. But if you have things synced globally, then you can chart on one side, on the higher time frame, and then it will show up globally across the entire platform. If you have it synced only for the tab, then it will only sync to the tab and it will not sync over here. So case in point, all new drawings should be, so that should sync to the tab and it didn't sync over here. Okay. You also like that. All right. So what kind of questions do we want to get into? Anything with tickers? You guys want to watch something specific?
Dougie.
What's up? Hyper scalper extraordinaire right there. How many trades did you do today?
Did not bad today. I only did about 580.
Jeez.
That's 4 accounts though. 4 accounts.
That's still a lot.
Always green. I've been green for 3 months, buddy.
Hey,
Every
man.
day.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Then I go over to the futures and I cannot believe that silver and gold go crazy on me.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm getting there, inch by inch.
Yeah. Don't be dinking around with gold and silver at the high ATRs until you know exactly what you're doing, though. Okay.
Right. But did you ever find out about the trade of eight with the charges now that they got in there? No. I got hit with $35. They said if I'm not on the live, they charge me $35 a month. So
Have you funded your account?
yeah, long time ago.
Have you done a trade in your account?
Not in the live, just in the simulator.
Okay. You need to do one trade a month.
Right. I just realized that.
Yep.
So, but I have a hard time making money in the minis though, the way I trade. So And I can't do the Go. Well, that's more
On the-
expensive, right?
On the minis, you only need one tick. So the way you scalp, yeah, you should do fine. On the on the micros, though, you're going to struggle because you need at least 3 or 4 ticks,
Right.
depending on the commodity.
Yeah, I can't get over the commissions, like $2.60 when I take nothing for Schwab. I'm like, you got kidding me.
You've been spoiled with Schwab, and it's probably probably the reason why they're kicking you out, because they're not making any money on it.
Got it, buddy.
So brokers got to make money, buddy.
Did you have a good birthday? Everything was good?
Yeah, it's nice and quiet.
Okay.
All right, so this is breaking out of the channel here. We're just going to zip this one up, call it good. Okay, let's see. Any questions on the YouTube? Is the Diamond Lifetime still available? If not, it's still on the... Yes, it is still available. There is a resounding yes, can we please keep it for a little while longer from the membership? Because there were some people that were working themselves up into getting it. So yes, Jerry, the Diamond Lifetime membership is still available. And it is currently still $5,000. So you've got your opportunity. Get out there and grab it. Which, by the way, anyone out there that's looking at doing a membership with us, first of all, you won't regret it. Secondly, you can use my name, D-O-U-G, Doug, as a 10% discount on any membership that you purchase for your first payment. Meaning, if you're going to do a monthly, you get 10% off your first month. If you're going to do an annual, you get 10% off your annual. If you're going to do the Diamond Lifetime at $5,000, you get $500 off and no recurring payments ever. Be sure to open a ticket and reserve it, though. Yes, please do. So, MR over here in our Zoom chat asks, how do I create a multi-chart? MR, do you want to do a multi-chart in TradingView? Do you want to do a multi-chart in Webull? What are you looking for? I can do both. You tell me. Dr. Onefly wants me to take a look at SPY. We can look at SPY here in a second. SPY is nothing more than the stock ETF of the S&P 500, which is ES, or if you're doing the micro, it would be MES. I'm going to log into my tickety talk over here. There I am right there. Nice. Get going.
Hey, Doug, you got a second?
I do.
All right, quick question. I believe Angel Trader is almost the same as Trader Rate, right?
Very similar. Ninja Trader owns Tradeovate, which, by the way, is also now owned by Kraken. So Kraken owns Ninja Trader now, and Ninja Trader is very similar to Tradeovate with respect to their platform.
Yeah.
The thing you can do with Ninja Trader is that you can use custom Pine scripts that you can't use in TradingView or Tradeovate.
Okay, the question that I have right now is I should be able to trade with just $200, right? I deposited $200 in because I noticed that I can trade the micros for $50. I have 200 in there, and right now every order that I send out, it's getting rejected. Do you have any idea why that could be happening?
I absolutely do. First, I'd like to know what ticker you're trying to trade.
MES.
Oh, you should be able to trade MES.
Yeah. I'm saying, so I looked at all of them, and
How many how many contracts are you trying to trade?
just one.
Are they giving you any reason as to the rejection?
No, it just says on the orders, it just says for rejected.
Well, that's blunt. Not very helpful. You funded your
I
account?
guess I'm just gonna try to reach out to them.
I mean, yeah, do so through their chat window there on the bottom right in the application. The only thing that I can think of is that maybe you have paperwork that hasn't been approved yet. When did you start your account?
I think it was a long time ago. I had just funded the account, and I funded the account about about a week and a half ago. And yeah, I mean, let's see what could be the problem.
It seems strange.
I just started texting with someone right now. Let me see if they can help.
Oh, okay.
I just thought you might know if I was doing something wrong or if I needed a little bit more.
No, I've heard some pretty interesting things happening in that respect, and I've never had any issues like that. But I did have some paperwork because I didn't have a camera on my computer. I had to do my license in KYC, right? So if you have yet to do that, I don't think they'll let you trade. They won't open your account to trade until that stuff is taken care of. So that may be where they direct you first. But if you've got all that set up, then you should be all set.
Right. Let me see what the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get back.
Okay, cool. Thank you. All right. MR over here in our Zoom group wants to know how to create a multi-chart. So what I'm going to do is I'll create a new tab. And then I'll go into a new layout and I'll just do a test layout here. All right, so here's our test layout. I don't like this volume indicator, so I'll just turn this off. Move. Okay, I'm 5 minute too. That's okay. So in this new layout, I can come up here to this box, which is the layout setup. And yeah, that's correct, Rhino. So it takes up to 3-4 days, maybe a week, to get your account verified. Okay, so up here on the chart or the layout, you can come up here and you can pick whatever layout you want. So if you want a double, do a double.
Is this still coming up, David?
What's that?
A little bit of
An open mic.
Okay.
a little bit of a Doug on just let everybody know those options there you see, Doug, on your list of different ways you can expand your chart.
Yep.
It depends on the level of membership you've paid for through TradingView.
That is correct.
Will not be available.
That is correct. Yeah, I have the premium membership, so I can have a lot. And there's a ton of stuff I can do with it, and I don't even use a fraction of most of it. But I just found out, this is where you can sync your layout either with symbol or not with symbol. This is where it is. So I'll go back to my multi-chart, or actually I'll just do it right here. We had a member ask, how do I get different tickers in each one? Well, this is how you would do it. So over here, I'm going to do MNQ. On this side, I'll do MES. So now I've got two different tickers that I can watch in a multi-chart right here. And if I wanted to sync those, then down here at the bottom in sync in layout, I can click symbol. Now it will do the last one that I clicked on, and it will mirror both of them. Okay. I can also sync the interval. So if I want the same interval, which I can't imagine you'd want that, But I can sync the interval. I can do the crosshairs, the time, the date range, the whole works. But I don't want a sync symbol. I want to have different things on different tabs or in different windows. Actually, reset. There we go. Okay. So that's a multi-chart in TradingView. Okay. Now, how do you do this in Webull? Come up here to Webull, and this is my live side, so I can go and add blank layout, add a chart. Now, here's the thing. The first time you have a chart in here, you have the opportunity to come in and update all of this information. I don't like to see the open, high, low, close. Not that important to me. I also don't like to see crosshairs, so I turn off my grid lines. I prefer a black chart, solid color, interval and symbol I like to have on the back side. I can customize my pre-market background if I want to, post-market background, overnight background, all of these kinds of things in Webull I can do right here. My custom candlestick colors, I don't like red, so I change mine to gray. And that's pretty much the start of that. Now, how do I get my indicators on here? Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up into my indicators, right? I'm going to highlight this first chart looking icon. And then I'll come up into my indicators, and the first thing I want to look for is VWAP. Okay, so I'll click on VWAP. That'll add my VWAP. Then I can look for EMA. And now I put on my EMAs. Next one I'm going to look for is MA. And I'll tell you why in a second. So now I've got VWAP. I'm going to come in here. I like a bright yellow. And I like a dotted line. So there's my VWAP, done and dusted. Now for the EMAs, I can come up in here, and the EMAs that we use are the 9, 21, and 55. I don't care about the other numbers in here. Why? Because over in the style is where you get to choose which ones you turn on. 9 EMA is white for us. 21 is violet. 55 is a burnt sienna orange. So I move my color over here to orange. I'll pick an orange color. And then I'm done. There's my indicators for 9, 21, and 55 and VWAP. Now for the MA, we use a 200 MA. And our color for the MA is blue. There you go. In a few quick seconds, turn off the volume here. And now I've got all my indicators on the chart as I would normally trade them. Okay. So if I'm doing a multi-chart now, first thing I want to do is set my indicators and then my EWO. Now I made a custom EWO here in Webull. And that custom EWO looks like this. Okay, instead of like this or like this. Now, how did I do that? Well, I went into the Pine script for it. So WO. And I named it, right? When you get this, you can view the Pine script. And then up in here, I just changed my color to gray. And I saved it, gave it a custom name, and now I have my own custom EWO in Webull. So you can change colors in your indicators and your EWO if you like. Now, how do I get the multi-chart? I go to grid. And I can say, well, how many charts do I want? I can do the drill down. I can do up to 9. But for this purpose, we'll do 4. Now, before I do that, I want to make sure that I'm going to sync some things. I want to sync my indicators. Don't want to sync anything else, just the indicators. Okay. The time is the time frame. So are you doing a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute, 15, 1 hour, 4 hour, you know, what's your evaluation? So now that I've got this, I'm going to turn this to a 2 minute so that I can use my 2 minute EWO strategy. And then I want 4 charts that are all going to sync the indicators. So once I've done the work on one, I don't want to have to do that again. So I come over here, I do 4 charts, and I expand my field. And now I can come up here and I can pick whatever symbol name I want. So TSLA, and there's all my indicators, right? Now I can turn on the EWO because it's not going to move the EWO. That's a separate thing altogether. So I can come over here, turn on my EWO, good to go. Down here I can do Meta, EWO, and NVIDIA, EWO. And just like that, I have a multi-chart for whatever tickers I want to watch, futures, crypto. Well, you can't do crypto in Webull, but futures, stock, whichever. And that's it. You're done. So now, come up here, click save, and you can say, all right, or chart, stock, multi-chart. And now when I come into search for that again, 4 chart stock multi-chart. And there you go, done deal. Let me know if you have any trouble with anything like that. Went through that pretty quick, but again, this is recorded and you can go back on the YouTube and watch it if you like. I also have a ADT pre-market. You're welcome. I have an ADT pre-market where when I was running pre-market, or I pop into pre-market to help out from time to time, this is where I get a lot of my data. I've got my L2 over here. I've got my watch list in the middle, along with the watch list down here at the bottom. Now, the reason why I do the watch list in the middle was from one of our older moderators. They said that they like to have the top gainers list in Webull up on another screen so that, thanks, Don, appreciate that. So that what they're actually watching for is the change in the percentage, right? So all I need in my watch list, if I'm going to be doing any kind of work in Webull and stocks, is what's the top gainers and what's their percentage change. And as I see the change fluctuate in the pre-market times, that then tells me that maybe volume's coming in and I should jump into that and take a look at it. So I've got a lot of different layouts along with my futures actual layout for trading. If I were trading in the live account, this is where I would be doing it. I've got all my widgets down here, my news, my open orders, my account details, my open positions, order entry if I want to do anything here. The quotes widget is the one I use the most when we're training. Reason being is that if people are new to futures, which we have a couple of them that are relatively new to futures, they want to figure out, all right, well, what is this all about? This is the first place I go because it's dedicated information down here in the quotes widget that allows me to click on the more button right here. It brings up a contract specs list. It gives me what my minimum fluctuation is. Now on this particular one, where did my symbol go? Cute. There we go. So on this one, this is silver. So the minimum fluctuation on silver is 0.005. That's the tick value or the tick count. So every 5 thousandths, it will be 1 tick. So this moves in 0.005. Well, that's all well and good, but how do I get paid? Well, that's where we open the CME group, page. This is your Bible, right? And essentially, what we use this for right now is this is how I get paid. Right here, $5 per tick. And that tick movement is 0.005. So every 0.005, I'm going to be making $5. Well, if I pop over here, I'm actually going to do this in TradingView so you can see it a little bit easier. M&Q melting down. Very nice. Whoops, somebody's in that. All right, so we're going to do the micro. We'll pop on our L2. Show you how quickly things can go squirrely in silver here. We're sitting on support here. Volume is way down. The ATR is 73 right now, so we've got low volume, high volatility. Not a great time to be trading this, but we'll see if we can catch a bounce here off of support. So there I am. I'm in. Oh no, I forgot my stop. Well, if I forget my stop, I can't click on this and drag a stop anywhere. So because I'm in my Tradevate account and I know my mechanics, I can just simply right click and drop a sell stop right here. And then I can manipulate wherever I want. Okay. In Tradevate, you can also use, and I did this with the members earlier, you can also use custom trailing stops and auto break evens. I like the auto break evens because if you're catching momentum, it'll auto protect your trade right away, so you don't have to worry about moving or manipulating stops at all. You can just focus on the trade itself. You can see that we're trying to find support here, but we are continuing to pull. Now I've got 8048 down here at the L2, 8048. Let's see here. Contracts are really small now. There we go. There's a little pop. You can see that every tick, $5. This thing will range wildly. I've had on several occasions one contract in micro silver be worth over $1,000 in no time flat. And there you go. There's $325, $350, $410. Coming up to resistance. Where's my resistance? Right here at 81,135. I'll take $455 right there. Bang. One micro silver. Right now in Tradevate, that's $500 worth of margin. So I almost in that one candle made as much money as the margin requirement to trade it. The beautiful part about futures is that you have instant cash settlement, which means the second that you actually get out of that trade, that $500 worth of margin that's being held in kind of like an escrow account is put back into your account. And now all you have is the expense of the trade, which, Dan, for me, at my membership level in Tradevate is $2.60 per micro contract in silver. Well, what is that in Webull? Well, come over here to Webull. How do you find that? Well, on the live side only, you cannot get this information on the paper side, but on the live side only, you would need to log into your account and then open up the classic trade widget. And over here with a stop loss, you can see that the cost of that trade is $2.78 per contract. Well, for my membership level in Tradevate, it's $2.60. So I'm actually saving 18 cents per trade per contract by trading in Tradevate underneath my membership. Now, what is the what's the margin requirements in Webull to trade one micro silver? The intraday is $1,425.44.
They just opened their mouth.
Who did?
I don't know. NQ don't.
It's been going up all day. I mean, you have to expect some level of retracement, right?
We're almost to 100 points already in a minute.
Ooh-wee.
I was in the short. I caught 80.
Oh, yes, sir.
The Russell.
Yeah, I'm
Maybe all of them.
I'm willing to bet they're all of them, which is why this multi-chart is so handy, isn't it? All right. Yeah, we've got a good pull on all the indices. Love it. And like right now, too, abruptly. All right, here comes your bounce or your support. Well, it is power hour, but did we have any news at this time of the day? Nothing significant. No. Treasury refunding financing estimates, but I can't imagine that would have done anything. Probably just profit taking, unless somebody's, typing on their social somewhere. But for all four of them to pull, they've been going up all day long. So to have a pretty healthy pullback, especially during power hour, at the start of power hour, is not overly shocking. All right, so where was I? All right, so the intraday margin in Webull for micro silver is 1425.44. In Trade of 8, it's $500. So the margin rate is much cheaper. Now, the other thing with Trade of 8 is you get that $500 23 hours of the trading session, which, by the way, is all trading session from 6 p.m. EST all the way to, call it 4:45-ish. But 5 o'clock is when the market closes and we go into rebalancing. So for that 1 hour, you would then be responsible for the maintenance margin of $8,639 if you were to carry it from one session to the next. Is there an echo? Millionaire Dreams? I apologize if there is. I don't have anything open that would cause that. Some have said they heard it and then it went away. So if you're holding over one session to the next, you'll be responsible for the maintenance margin. Okay. If you're trading in Webull and you're looking to get into a trade outside of 9 a.m. EST to 4:45 p.m. EST, that's the New York trading session time, you would be responsible for the initial margin, which means at 6 o'clock p.m. EST, when the market opens, you would be responsible for one micro contract of having a margin requirement of $9,502.90. Trade of 8 is $500. All 23 hours of the trading session. So I like Webull for the widgets, but I don't trade in Webull because of the margin rates, and my membership level over at Trade of 8 now makes my fees cheaper as well. So I have 23 hours of cheaper margin rates along with cheaper fees as to boot. How much is one contract on that right now? I can't see on my phone. For which one, Retro? The silver or just anything in general? Okay, Nunya doesn't hear an echo. See you two here real quick. I've been talking for a while, so I'll get caught up. Miguel, do I trade micro oil? Yes. As a matter of fact, one of my best EWOs I ever had.
Doug, it started to echo for a second.
And then
And quit.
And then quit. Ghost in the machine. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. Do I trade micro oil? Yeah. One of my best EWOs that I ever ran, it was a 6.5 hour EWO. I remember it vividly. I only had enough margin because I was trading in Webull at the time for one contract. And the initial margin, because it was outside of the 9 o'clock when the contracts get cheaper in Webull, and you move to the intraday margin rate, I started the trade at about 6 o'clock in the morning, and I had enough in my margin account to enter in with one contract at $400 and some odd dollars. However, when 9 o'clock came around and my trade was still running in my direction, I did the advanced EWO principles. And what I did is on a pullback, let me see if I can find a good spot where that would be an example, because it was a massive run. Okay. We'll use this EWO here as an example. So what I did is I was running, and then 9 o'clock came around and I saw one of these pulls right here. And it came back up and tested on the 21. And as soon as I saw confirmation to the downside, I added in one contract. And then it went along, came back up, tested to 55. I added in another contract. So I had 3 contracts running. The reason being is at 9 o'clock, when the contract rates got cheaper, I could now afford, because they're now only $119 a piece, I could afford to add in more contracts with my continuation of the EWO. And by the time I sold out of it, that entire EWO trade, I think I captured right around $350. And if you know anything about micro oil, that's $1 per tick. So I captured 350 ticks worth of movement in micro oil that day using the advanced EWO entry criteria. I'm not sure why it would be echoing. Have them on. So that. Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye on it. Let me know if it gets really bad, though, would you? Lean back and talk again. Is it picking up additional stuff as I'm further away from the mic? Really? Ugh. I mean, I got to swallow this thing the whole time? I mean, I can. I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, rats. All right. All right, so I just got to stay really close then. Be like Coach, and I'll just sit here and chew on it. All futures, 500 trade rate at all times. No, Drewski. So the margin rates for these, if you remember, over here in our futures lounge, you can go to the pinned messages, and then you look at margin rates, and we have a couple of postings in our Discord for Tradeovate specifically. In general, and I'm going to be general here, the micros are $50. The E-minis are $500. Now, that's not always the case. It depends on the commodity or ticker that you're going to be trading, right? So if you're doing NQ, is that actually worse? I can back it off. All right, how about that? Right there, don't move. All right. This good? Tell me now. It is really bizarre. For crying out loud. All right. Get a wireless mic and weave it through my beard, maybe? I could probably do that, Jerry. You bet. Smidge to the left. All right, stop it. Metal plate and head, yeah, no doubt. So by and large, on Tradeovate, you have $50 micros and $500 E-minis. Now, you can see here that we've got Bitcoin that's $20,000 worth of margin. a little bit expensive. Don't forget the one leg. Yeah. But let's get to something like NQ. Okay. So down here at NQ, here's MNQ. MNQ is $100 per micro contract. Now, why did I pick on that one? Because I trade it a lot. At least I was. I've been kind of really interested in silver lately, so I've been tracking a bunch of that. And gold. I've been playing around with gold too. Let's see. And then NQ, because the micro is 100, NQ is 1,000 per contract. Okay. Now, again, in futures, we have instant cash settlement. So that margin comes right back into your account, and you no longer have to worry about that margin not being available to you. Once you exit your trade, it comes right back to you. The only thing that goes into your account then, once you exit the trade, is if you had any winnings, those would go into your account minus the fees. So how do we know what our fees are? Well, over here in the Trade of 8, I got that too. Here's the all-in rates. Okay, for NQ. These are all one way, by the way. So the free account that you have, the most people have when they get into joining Trade of 8, is going to be $2.88 per side. So the entry and the exit. Drewski, we actually took a poll, and people wanted to extend or have available the Diamond membership, Diamond Lifetime membership, because there's several individuals that are still interested in it. So Coach is going to be holding that open for a little bit. Members ask, you shall receive. If you do the monthly, it would be $2.58 per contract per side. Doesn't have a stop key. How do you load a stop? Oh yeah, you can do all kinds of cool stuff with stops. I'll show you here in a second. I don't know if you were in earlier, Trader Kevin, but we had I was doing a auto break even. I set up an auto break even stop and showed people how that worked. So I'll run you through that here in a second. Now, I have the lifetime membership, so my fee structure on NQ would be $2.18 one way, or $4.36 as a total trade. So you can see that each membership level, you're going to be saving a little bit of money each way. And then over in Webull, when you do the lifetime, these fees are actually cheaper than the Webull fees. And Webull fee doesn't have memberships. It's just you have an account. So that's how you do the fees. Yeah. And with the Tradeify, we actually have coaches linked up with Tradeify, which, you know, right there, Tradeify. If you do a Tradeify account and you use code ADT, you get a pretty hefty discount off of, I don't want to get into a trade. Thank you. Set my chart. There it is. If you use code ADT, you get a pretty hefty discount, and that's with every account. So every new account or every restart, refresh, use code ADT, and you'll get that discount each time. Okay. Let's see. What was our question? How to set up an auto trail, or not auto trail, but trailing stop, or auto break even rather. So let's see if we can pick something that's moving real quick here. What was that? Which one? You were breaking up, Marshall.
Sorry, I said M2K.
M2K. There you go. Cool. I want something with some volume. That moves with some ticks. We can try M2K.
Not a lot. Volume's low.
Yeah.
ATR's only 26.
Well, let's do this.
Same thing with the Russell.
Yeah.
Maybe not a good option.
This is trying to pick a direction. I think maybe what we'll do is we'll try and catch a bounce here and see if we can't get this thing to rip to the upside. Now, I created this stop a little while ago for our members. So all I did is I came in, I want the stop to be shown in ticks. It is a stop loss only. I could do a stop loss take profit. I could do a take profit or a take profit only. But in this case, I'm going to do a stop loss only. And for this particular stop loss, I am going to select the auto break even. Okay, now I could do an auto break even, auto trail. So when it gets to a certain point, it'll move my stop to break even. When it gets further beyond whatever that looks like, it'll then start to trail the price action. If I'm in a long, it'll trail it with in the long side. If I'm in a short, it'll trail it down. Now, in this case, this is just an auto break even. So the way I have this set up, I have my stop loss at 100, just way out of the way. The profit trigger that's going to trigger the stop loss to be moved up to protect my trade by 4 ticks. Okay, so it's plus my entry, or it's the entry plus however many ticks that I want. So if I want to protect myself and get some profitability out of it, I can do 10 ticks. You know, but if I want to protect it for fees, 4 is usually pretty good. For instance, M&Q has a 50 tick or 50 cent per tick payout. And my fees on the free side are $1.90. So if I've got $2 basically of fees and I have a 50 cent payout or 50 cent tick payout, then I should probably want to move this to 6 ticks. Okay. Silver's not that way. You can get away with silver in 4 ticks, no problem. So the stop loss is at 100. As soon as it hits 20, I'm going to reduce this because we're at low volume. I'm going to go with 10. So it trips relatively quickly, and then just hit save. So now you've got a position in there. You've got your auto break even. I can come in for a buy, try and get this bounce off the 9 here. See if we're going to get this little continuation up to our obvious top of the channel that we're in. And this might take a minute for it to make a decision. But as soon as it moves, it'll move. If it moves in my direction, that is, it will take my stop and protect my trade instantly. Now, the way that this looks in trading view is right here. See if we can get that pop. Move this out of the way just in case. This is a paper account, so I'm not overly worried about the trade itself. I just want to see if this thing will actually work for you. Might get out and re-enter here. Yeah, get out and re-enter at the bottom. That was a big gap down. Yeah. See if we can get a response off of this one here. I may actually be able to take this down. I'm sitting on support here, so I want to be careful. Oh, there. Okay. See if we get our support bounce here. If we get the support bounce and it comes back up to the 9, you'll see this red line pop right back up above my buy position here. And it's going to happen quick. So watch out. There it goes right there. There's your auto break even. And now I can just focus on my trade. Pretty cool, right? Now, consequently, if you do it, and that's why you want to make sure that you have enough ticks to get you away from your buy position, so that when it's doing its breathing, it's not going to breathe back and stop you out right away. But that's how an auto break even will work. Okay. That way you don't have to actually move your stop yourself. I've out-clicked the battery on my mouse. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate you. Yeah, you guys are killing it over there. 47K in likes. I love it. So that's how you do an auto break even. You can also do in Trade-Evade auto take profits, which it will then do a trailing stop. So that, you know, if you actually do catch a runner, see, I think I've got this set up in NQ. Yep, here's a 40 tick auto break even with a 15 tick auto take profit, or auto trail, I should say. So this looks like we got a bit of a bounce, but we're stuck here at a key level. What you gonna do? Convinced yet? One little contract. All right. So here I am. I'm entered. I'll go over to M&Q. Here's my position. What I'm looking for is a continue. I'm going to pull this out of the way just so I stopped out right away. I want to allow this to work a little bit. And what I'm looking for is for it to come up and challenge this high back up in this range here. Coaches indicators. Oh, sweet. We're at the top. Brilliant. All right. Well, we'll see if we can get it to pop anyway. Yeah, that's correct. Below that, you'll break structure. Correct. Hi, Mark. How are you? So this is an auto break even, auto trail. So if we can actually get the move and it wants to come all the way back up here, maybe we can get this thing to pop off for it. I should have gotten in down here where I was thinking about it. All right, wakey, wakey, let's go. I'm in queue. Yeah, we're in a fist fight right now. What do we need to see? 904s. We need to see 900. We've been dinking around with 900 on NQ for a while. Trying to break and hold above that. Come back down to support. Here. All right, I'm gonna get our popper. I'm thinking no. 885. Really on support now. This is what happens when you don't look at coaches indicators. If I would have seen this was right at the top of the trend channel before entering, I would have gone into a short. Me. See if we. Right in the middle of consolidation. I want to see this thing actually do something for you guys. I'm going to take this to the side, see if we can get this to pop off in that direction. More likely to the downside move here. Now watch, it'll reverse on me again. All right. Just need a hard pull or a continuation, and you'll see it protect them immediately. Yeah, that's what I thought. You dog. All right, pull back off of there. We're up to 51K. Likes on TikTok. Good job, everyone. Wait for this to do its thing. All right. Come on now. There we go. I want to see it come down here and take the challenge this low. We've got 876 showing up as support. If we can get 876 to melt away, then we'll actually break through 876 to the downside. There we go. Okay, you see how it's trailing? So that's the trailing stop. That's the trailing part of it. There's the auto break even taking effect. And now if this continues to move, which would be super cool to watch, rather than breathing back and stopping me out, you'll get to see this actually trail the price action by a certain amount of ticks based on what I programmed it to. So if you're using this during, say, a news event, right, and you want to catch that massive pop or the massive drop, you can get into that trade with an auto trailing stop, so that when that thing, when you have a great big candle that runs up and then breathes back, depending on your tick count, will determine how much of that breathe back you will allow to happen before it stops you out. I did a practice trade at market open this morning on NQ, and on one micro contract, I made like $130 using the trailing stop, because when I got in, it launched right away, and that trailing stop took off like a bat out of you-know-where and followed that price action all the way up. And then by the time it started to pull back, because I had it relatively tight, it stopped me out, and that was $120 or something like that on one micro contract, which, if you know NQ, it's 50 cents a tick. That was over 200 ticks worth of movement. And you can see the trailing stop is doing its job, right? So I'm up $31.50 on this particular trade. There I am, stopped out, job done. Pretty cool. Any questions on that? Kevin, I know you had some interest on how to do those stops.
No, you went over everything I needed. Thanks, Doug.
Awesome. Cool. Now, you cannot initiate those custom stops in TradingView. You have to initiate them in Trade-of-8, but you can monitor and manipulate them over here in TradingView when you're actually trading. if you are going to be entering trades in TradingView, then all you would need to do is create some custom stops over here. And the way that you would do that is through your order panel or your trade panel. Okay. So I want to do a stop. I want to turn on my stop and I want it to be ticks. Okay. Oh, for crying out loud. And say I want my stop to be 100 tick stop. Okay. So now I have a 100 tick stop programmed. Actually, that's the take profit. I don't want take profit. I want the stop. There we go. So now I've got a 100 tick stop programmed. All I need to do is come up here and say save order preset. And then I can say 100 tick stop. And now when I want to get into a trade, say I want to get into a buy off the bounce here, I can get into the trade, but I need to select my stop now. Okay. And that's it. Now this one I actually had set up to sell bid minus 11, buy ask plus 11. Not something I'm going to ever use. So I can come over here, create my stop. It should just be 100 tick, but I should not have to deal with this. Interesting. You have to deal with it. But in any case, that's how you do it. Easy peasy. Create your custom stops. That way you've got over here on your trade button, you can just come down here and say, all right, well, what's my ATR? My ATR is 44. I'll use a 50 tick stop just to keep myself well out of the way. And now when I get into the trade, I get into a short here, but over on Tradeovate, there's my translation of the stop and the buy position. Okay. So this is not going to be a custom stop. This is not going to be anything other than a hard stop, right? So I would have to manipulate this myself if I wanted to protect my trade or auto trail or do whatever. Okay. When I click exit at market and cancel, that will not only cancel my trade, but it'll cancel all stops and take profits at the same time. Okay. You have it.
Good question, Doug.
Fire away.
Can I set that trailing stop by counting trade weight, have it always activate, like when I'm trading in TradingView, it automatically kicks in trailing stop no matter what? Basically an automatic trailing stop for every trade in TradingView.
No, TradingView doesn't have the mechanisms to be able to set those.
No, but I mean, I was wondering if you could set it as an automatic thing in Tradeovate, if it carries over to TradingView. When it's open to trade, it automatically kicks in that trailing stop. Like your automatic stop anyway.
Yes, but you have to initiate the trade in Tradeovate. It has to be started here, and then you can manage it in TradingView. Is that what you're
So
asking?
it'd be better to set up the stop in TradingView.
If you want to use auto break evens and auto trails, yes.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, you have to actually. You don't have access. The API doesn't allow you to have access to that kind of customizability in TradingView. It'll translate the information for you, but it doesn't allow you to actually get into the custom settings that you have available to you in Tradeovate.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yep.
Hi, Kristen. It's Marshall.
Hi, Marshall. All right. The first time you fund your account takes a while. Yep, it can. Or something. You know what? Who was it that was struggling? Brad, was it you? Yeah. You know, I'm sorry, I didn't think about that. In Tradeovate, you actually have to pick your contract, whereas in TradingView, it does automatic contract rollover. So if you were trying to trade on an expired contract or a contract that was due to expire relatively quickly, or within the week, yes, your order would be rejected. Another nice thing that I like about Webull is that on the quote side of things, when you do your contracts, say we're in micro gold, down here in the quotes widget, days to expire, 84. Well, if I want to know what my last trading day is, I can come over here to the more button, and I can see right here, last trading date, 5/31/24. Last trading date is 4/28 for this particular contract. So the last time that you can actually trade on this is 4/28. But I tell you right now that if it's within that week, there are some brokers that are going to move you to the next contract. Tradeovate, if you have a watch list of items that you like to trade and you pop into your Tradeovate, what you'll see is you'll get a window pop up and saying, hey, these are the contracts that you have in your watch list. Do you want us to roll them over for you? And the answer to that should be yes. Let them do it for you. Because if you don't, then you have to come up here and you have to know the contract names, right? So what is the contract name? It's not just ES, it's ESH6 or EHJ6 or G6 or B6, you know. So the contract name depends on the month or the period that you're actually trading in. So yes, if you were actually trading or trying to trade on a contract that was expired or due to expire, for our member in the Zoom, that would make sense. And I apologize, I should have asked that question. But in Webull, you're doing contract changes. What we always tell people is if you're going to be picking your contract, always pick the main if you're going to be using Webull. Yeah, it has to do with how far away I am from the mic, Bucko. Sorry about that. In Webull, the contracts will auto change into the main. So, for instance, let's go to ES. We'll do MES. So the H6 contract, the March contract, is what's currently in the main slot now. If you do all of your charting in the main slot, then you will get all of your chart lines and everything will stay there so that when your contract switch happens, you haven't lost all of your lines and all your charting information. So if you chart on the main, then all of your lines will stay. If you chart on the actual contract, then once the contract expires, all of your chart lines will go away. And then you can see the next several contracts. So the June contract, September, December, and then March of 27 are all listed for you right here. So if you have Webull, excuse me, and you're trying to figure out what the active contract is in Tradeovate, just pop over to Webull and look at what the current contract is. Excuse me one second. So another reason why I like Webull for its widgets, it gives me the ability to look at the next contracts fairly easily. Let's see. See any other questions we got out there in the TikToks or the YouTubes? Anything you guys want to take a look at? Trent, I know you said you were going to be bugging me with questions all week long. Do you have any new questions, or are you finding yourself figuring it out pretty quick?
Actually, I don't have any questions right now. I for some reason, totally, even though I asked you 5-6 times yesterday, I went over to the regular Zoom today thinking you were going to be over there. I didn't come over here till like 10 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
I've been fighting myself.
Fighting yourself all day with what respect?
Oh,
You want to get in it, don't you?
well, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Because everything freaking works except the freaking Greeks. And it's really freaking frustrating.
So you're struggling with the Greeks over in stock options? You don't have that over here.
Yeah, they didn't freaking approve my account so I could transfer all the funds over.
Okay.
And well, it's not that they didn't approve it; it's still pending.
Yep.
I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I waited to get in Apple, and well,
What happened with Apple today?
don't go look at it.
Come on. Really?
Oh yeah, no man, it can't be that bad, right?
Holy smokes.
Yeah, try the 5 minute. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You didn't trade at the open, did you?
Not at the no, but let's say see whenever I the 9:42.
You traded at the open then.
No. So it'll be 10:42. Sorry.
10:42. Okay. All right. 10:42. You're over here. Why? Why there?
Clearly, I don't freaking know.
Okay. Well, don't do that in futures.
Well, this damn zero DTE BS on Apple now as well, because I'm so used to 5 days. I'll just flip over to options,
Mm-hmm.
and that's actually where the day started going south. Well, flipped over to the freaking ladder and bought a zero DTE, expecting it to be a 5-day DTE. It's always been 5 days on Mondays, for the last 52 weeks.
So you're getting ripped apart by time decay right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. All right.
Yeah. And instead of just freaking sucking it up and ripping the Band-Aid off, I'll be able to, you know what?
I feel for you, man.
Freaking done.
All right. Well, over here in the futures, if you were getting, because I kind of understand you got a good volume candle down. Here's the entry, right? Here's your break, hold, and your entry candle. I kind of get it. The thing I'm going to bust your chops about. VWAP's right here.
Hmm?
No. Don't do that. Okay, we're in an uptrend market. Wait for it to come down, find its feet, break and hold above the 9, take the entry over here. It's way cleaner. Then you can put your stop below VWAP and you're good to go. Right? So, and even though it kind of milled around here for a while, I mean, you could have, on that gamma candle right there, you could have captured some profitability, sold off up here, right? Because you're in options. You don't want to sell on a down candle when you're in a call. So, do you have diamond hands? Can you sit through some of this stuff? Let it, pop again, that kind of stuff. Break and hold to the downside into support is something that I'm desperately trying to work out of my trading as well. I'd rather see all of the indicators either above or below me, or I'm getting in on a structural bounce, right? And even here, this would have been a messy entry. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Not until you get the break of the 9 and the hold of the 9. Now you've got this candle right here. Actually, it's not even that one. The one before it. This one right here. That's your entry candle. Here's your break candle. Here's your hold candle. You see a good volume move here. You can get in, protect yourself under VWAP or whatever your 30 to 40% is. And then you've got 3, 4, 5 candles to the upside that you can capture profitability in before you get the first down candle.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely a no-go over here. And then you can do it again here. Break and hold. Break and hold. Break and, ooh, that's a nice candle. 3 nice candles right there. Lots of gamma in that one. So yeah, the Greeks, they start playing with your mind, right? With respect to the time decay and the acceleration, and when that stuff starts going against you, it stacks up quick.
Apple just doesn't have enough volatility.
No.
Or when you make a mistake, let me throw it out there like.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Ragtag over there on TikTok. Good to see you. Thanks, Rags.
What time are you guys plan on shutting it down?
4 o'clock. Yes, sir. Yep.
I didn't realize you were doing the TikTok and the YouTube. Sorry if I cussed. I thought it was just the Zoom.
Oh, yeah. No, we're live, baby. All right. We'll be all right. So, yeah. I mean, throw a stick in the mud in a call, and you're making money in Apple today. You know, once you get past this first pullback.
See, that's the thing. I finally freaking, never mind.
Well, spend time with us over here, okay? Because you obviously have scalping skills, right? You've been doing it. You've been doing it long enough. You know what a good entry looks like.
I mean, I'm getting ready to hit a year, daily behind this damn computer, and for some reason, I'm still not freaking master these damn freaks. Yeah, I got green months and green weeks, and then all of a sudden, a Friday will slap the shit out of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I get it. It's one of the reasons why I don't actually, I haven't actually gotten into options. I went straight to futures. Me personally. So.
Yeah, I've done stocks. I've tried stocks. It's just there's not enough per se.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough meat on the bone per se to have me comfortable with
right.
the unsettled funds and settled funds. You know what I mean? It's
right.
Like the next day, I'm not going to be in the same mindset. It's not going to be acting the same way, so on and so forth.
Well,
and,
you know the other part of that too. Jerry says, "Are you journaling?"
I actually just bought the journal last week and printed it out on Friday.
Yes. All right.
So,
how do you like it?
Well, I read through it all. I haven't done my initial day of planning and whatnot, but I've done all of the the goals here and mindset, and I was like the first 11 pages. So let me actually open it. Wait. Yeah, how to use the journal. I mean, I got through all of this. Yeah, the whys, the financial goals, the skill goals, mindset goals.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially where I stopped. I mean, I've read it all. I just haven't filled it out yet.
Okay.
So, but I've done freaking written my own damn it. I just want to punch the evolution shit out of
easy. It's live broadcast.
Oh, sorry.
So just hang out with us. You don't have to worry about Greeks. Seriously.
Oh, I'm definitely coming over here. I just screwed up today. For some reason, I thought you were in regular Zoom.
Usually I am. I'll have an ear over there and an ear in futures while I'm doing the socials for Coach, but Mark's out, so I had to put all my focus in the future Zoom today.
Yeah. And this week, you guys will be in this room right here all week.
Every day.
Okay.
Every day. And I'm gonna put a challenge to you. 1 micro contract. Paper trade it for a week. Pick one ticker trend. One. So if it's IWM that you usually like to watch, or it's SPY, pick the indice of that version. Now, SPY is a little bit volatile, but from my understanding, you'd be relatively accustomed to it at this point, right? And then just do the 2-minute EWO or the break and hold of the 9. Pick one and do it for an entire week, 1 micro contract. Okay? And just see if you can get accustomed to the price action and the volatility and how things move. And I think you'll find pretty quickly that because you don't have to think about the Greeks and what acceleration and time decay are doing to your profitability in any one given candle, you can quite literally just focus on the trade. And I promise you, if you can focus on just the trade, then you'll have more success. Because right now, you've got all this stuff rolling around in your head, and you've got this Rolodex of stuff. Well, I got to do this. I got to do this. What if this happens? Right? If you can take 50% of all of that noise out of your thinking and really just get back to where is it to the what's happening to the indicator? Am I in a good spot? Do I have double tops or double bottoms to worry about? You can focus on the entry, the trade plan itself. Because if you're getting into a trade and you don't have a planned exit, or at least a scenario that you're thinking about, if this happens at this level, then I should shave or shed, if I'm in with multiple contracts, or if I'm running one contract, is this my ultimate out? All right, Chris, have a good night. You know what I mean? So if you don't have a trade plan, don't enter the trade. Because your plan should consist of the entry, the what ifs, and the exit. It's never about the money. It's never about trying to capture so many ticks. It's where's my entry, where's my danger, okay, and where's my exit. That's it. Okay. If you can focus on those things for a week, running 1 micro contract, whatever it is you want to watch, I think you'll start to see kind of like that cloud coming off your shoulders. Like, I don't have to worry about it. It's like a deep breath, right? It's just like, oh, I don't have to. That's what I'm saying, right?
In my personal life, not this. It's just, that definitely does.
Well, the two are tied together, right? Yeah. And particularly, I started doing mental checks, right? We got about 2 minutes left. So I started doing a mental inventory before I even got into the chart. Like, all right, so am I stressed about anything? Did I sleep okay? Have I eaten today? So on and so forth, right? It seems silly to have to do that as an adult, but realistically speaking, it's changed the way that I trade. Because if I have too many red flags in my mental checklist, I just don't trade. I stay out of the live cash altogether, which is why I don't trade live cash every day. I'll practice trade, work on mechanics and so on and so forth, but I won't trade live cash if I'm not totally locked in. You know what I mean? And take fewer trades.
I'm getting better about doing all these things. Smaller position size, less trade, so on and so forth. And then
we got you, man. Not every market is for everybody, right? The key there is you're going to find something that's going to hit your gray matter just right. And you're going to be like, yes, now I not only do I see it, I can feel it, right? And that's what we want to get. We want to spark that fire in you again to say, you know what, I'm in it to win it. And now I have a mechanism. I have a market that actually speaks to me. That's the key. I found it right away with futures. I still, to this day, haven't traded a stock in my life. Now, was that the brightest thing? No. His coach, says start with stocks. It's relatively inexpensive. It's not about the money. It's about the process, right? Poor Rhino over there. I'm self-employed. I'm stressed every day. I feel you.
Unintentionally, just did really think. I can't just fire them and tell them to get the damn code.
I do. I work in a small business. Staffing is challenging these days. All right. I'm going to wrap up the socials here, and then we'll close up our Zoom here in a second. Does anyone know how to fix this problem? Jordan, what problem is that exactly, bud? $60K likes on the YouTube or on the TikTok. Well done, everybody.
I thought he was.
Oh yeah, no, that's not his P&L.
Well, I seen the 50K a minute ago, and I was like, oh.
Right. All right. Well, we'll catch up to you next time, Jordan. If you join us, I'll grab that. And we talk about mentality and trading mechanics and the struggle of the mental side and how that can affect your trading every single day. So if you guys are struggling with something, please, please, please do not suffer in silence. Bring it up. Don't be embarrassed about it. Everyone's going through it. So at some point in time. And we can help you work through it. Maybe we can help you build some mechanisms, some coping strategies, so on and so forth. I've got a mind full of stuff that we can deploy. So if you're struggling, let us know. It's 3:58. Dawn's coming up next in less than 2 minutes with the aftermarket show. Please stick around and hang out with her. She always covers some really great content, and the engagement over there is always welcome as always. So I'll see you tomorrow. I might be going live in the morning. I don't know yet. We'll see. But that'll be on just the socials and not in a live Zoom. But for now, thanks for joining us. I appreciate all your time and your support over there on TikTok and YouTube and all the other socials. You guys are awesome. Love your faces. And we'll see you later.